Get down. Get down. Get down.
So I've been doing a lot of thought recently about, again, I'm a big Gary Vaynerchuk fan, and what I like about him, I think he's decidedly skewed towards consumer products, I think, and the nature of consumer advertising. I'm not sure if you would agree with that, but that's the way I see it because, again, he cut his teeth on retail wine sales, right? But at any rate, you're putting that aside, he really, in my opinion, is the only one that really appreciates the shifting landscape of media. And it doesn't matter what you call it, digital, mobile, social. It's really the way that the communication mechanism and outlets have changed and then how to capitalize on them. And then he specializes in capitalizing early because there's a lot of value there. You know, he wrote a book a couple of years ago called The Thank You Economy. I think recently he said that, hey, the thank you economy hasn't really materialized. But the notion and the nature of that book, which overlays how he goes about what he calls scaling the unscalable, is very valid and I think very relevant to especially smaller businesses, but really businesses of all sizes. And it is this, that the connectivity that social media affords us is squandered most of the time towards, what's the immediate return and what's the advertising benefit that I can gain? While those are critical to certain areas of the business cycle, the former that I'm talking about here and what Gary talks a lot about is that connectivity and then, producing value. And then, again, his most recent book, this Jab, 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 Right Hook, which essentially means, listen, connect with people in meaningful ways, make investments in them, and that's a big thing that a lot of people don't do. Make investments in those business relationships and those natural relationships before you're asking for the sale of some sort. And then at the end, you land the right hook, is how he kind of puts it. That's where your big ask is. And look, if you couple that now, and I'll connect this dot with me. If you couple that together with content marketing, it makes a tremendous amount of sense that we should run our businesses in a fashion that allows our strategy to be developed against these two critical factors: content marketing and the narrative that must be developed. What's the story? What I always say, recently I've been saying this quite a bit, that the impact that products and services have go much deeper than the initial transaction. We, as marketing and business leaders, need to understand that impact and then tell the story. What's the narrative around that impact? And do it in a transparent and honest way. So that's the first thing. But then secondly, a lot about what Gary talks about is how do we invest in those relationships and connect on a personal level to provide value before we're asking to do business with someone. So anyway, I don't think it. I know I see so many businesses that fail to appreciate both of these things, and they give lip service to both, and they really and what ends up being a matter of time and money, that they don't have the time to produce or engage in this fashion, and they're unwilling to invest the money because they fear there'll be no return. And really, there's tremendous amount of return, but a lot of people have to get over that risk and that fear.